Now the chances of winning this Powerball jackpot, 1 out of 292.2 million. And the owners of this store get a $30,000 prize as well. Families still recovering from Tuesday night's torrential downpour. This car right behind me was submerged in water up to its door handle. Some structures have stayed the exact same. Alpha Gamma Delta looks exactly how it was when it was built in 1928. Activities in places like a giant rooftop field give opportunities to kids all across the city. The amount of non-proficient readers versus proficient readers in Syracuse in third grade reading tells the story. To Build a Man summer program gives young black men new skills to add to their toolbox, whether that's literal skills like carpentry or new ways to cope with mental health issues. Today, the Syracuse community came together to grieve the 270 lives lost 36 years ago. 35 of those lives were Syracuse University students. Now, the FBI released data back in September stating that the anti-Semitism and hate crimes in 2022 to 2023 had increased by 63%. Guys, on the count of 3, let's say Happy Halloween. You ready? 1, 2, 3. Happy Halloween! Inside a barn in the small town of Springwater, New York, a skill from the Iron Age is taught to a new crowd.
Well, I've been welding for 25 years.
After graduating from Syracuse University with a bachelor's degree in sculpture, Stacy Moira pursued her dream of welding by opening Ironworks Studios.
Got my hands on the welder and totally fell in love with welding.
It's not just a place that breaks through metal, but glass ceilings too. Ironworks teaches women and young girls how to weld. According to the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics, only 5.8% of welders in 2023 were females. Stacy is looking to increase that.
And I've had over 600 women coming in and out of these doors. Nice job! Being surrounded by other women that are like cheering you on while you're doing something that's kind of scary to you.
Fantastic, good job! Woo-woo.
You're not walking into some industrial space with a bunch of guys going, what are you doing here? You know, you're welcome, more than welcome to be here.
When you're 16, you're too focused on learning to drive a car rather than building one. This group of high school sophomores is an engineering team. They're competing this year with the task to build a car entirely on their own.
You never know if you don't like something until you try it. And I think that there's a lot of scary activities that many young girls can be like, oh, I don't want to do that, but you never know unless you try it. So I think it's very important that they at least try.
The girls believe welding will help them build the car's frame.
I love seeing girls do non-traditional things. Like these girls since second grade, they've always just assumed that something like welding is 100% something that they can do.
Finding your spark, that's what we do here.
Through Moira's classes, students like Francine Pelkey found that spark they were missing.
This happened at a time where I was kind of at one of my lowest points in my life. It was my happy place. It became my happy place. I never knew that I needed welding in my life, was kind of what I said.
And even after class is over, Stacy hopes that women leave with a new sense of strength and confidence.
You know, as women, a lot of times when we go to pick up a tool, guys are like, oh, be careful. And there's no reason for us to be careful.
From heat to the heart. The bond that welding creates is unbreakable. Moira Vaughan, NCC News.
Never seen anything like this.
Luke Murphy was shocked by what his Edgewater, New Jersey neighborhood looked like after last night's heavy rain.
When it was coming down, it was, you could hardly see through it. It was raining so hard.
The deluge taking over the streets, pushing its way into several houses around the cul-de-sac as well.
I got up, put my feet on the floor, and I was ankle deep in water. I had no idea that it was raining that hard.
Leslie Loftus brought us into her home where the water ruined her living room.
I don't know how rain can come up and go in your house. I mean, my rugs are soaked. When you step on the rugs, they squish.
The water on Belmont Avenue so deep, some residents were evacuated not by car, but boat.
I was in bed sleeping, and I hear this bang, bang, bang on the door, and I'm like, what the heck's this? And I open up the door, and it's a fireman standing there, and he says, get ready, we're going to evacuate. And I'm there, evacuate for what?
As far as I could see was water. It was like I lived in the middle of a lake. It was very scary. It was very scary.
When Betty Kaiser returned home the next morning, she found minor damage to her garage.
But I can deal with that. The living quarters weren't touched, thank God. So it could have been so much worse. So I just thank God.
And with another storm rolling in, this neighborhood worries how they'll recover.
I don't know where the runoff will go.
Moira Vaughan, CBS News, Philadelphia. Whether it's the pool, classroom, or field, Dream Camp creates endless experiences for 130 kids through fully paid scholarships. Its mission is access to education and fun.
Some kids can end up in places that no kids wants to be, and it gets too far. So coming to Dream Camp is like a way to escape for the summer.
This is the first summer ESF and National Camp and Dream Camp have combined to one central location, the Friends Select School in Center City.
So I knew if we could ever find the right location in Philadelphia that this would really work.
We have this rich school and facility, but not very many kids in the neighborhood here in Philadelphia can have access to it during a regular session. But during the summer season, it's wide open.
For the principal of Friends Select, Michael Gary, it's a full circle moment.
I attended a Dream Camp back in 1977 in New Haven, Connecticut.
ESF Program Director LaFay Johnson says activities in places like a giant rooftop field give opportunities to kids all across the city.
We really need resources for our young people, for them to be able to see a light at the end of the tunnel.
And for campers like 14-year-old Zion Hassa, it's a bond for life.
Because once you come, it's like you have a family here. Like all the friends you meet, seeing them again for the next year, it kind of brings you back. Like, keep it in your heart.
A family where you can splash, learn, and take the stage, where camp feels more like a dream. Moira Vaughan, CBS News, Philadelphia.